Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing Puppy from HackTheBox. This is a box word about Medium. And yeah, let's get on to the video. As always, I'm starting by opening my terminals here. I'm start pinging the IP address. We'll do ping count for 3 for 10, 10, 70. We do get I think we do get a response back from the server. Some server doing mmap scan, so I'll do mmissc for default scripts for the enumeration. Scan out ports on the IP. Doing this, I'll do my verbose. We do have a couple ports open. We have 135, 139, 445, 453 for DNS. And look at this box. We do already have some credentials. So I'm going to put my leaf pad here. 4 these are for Levi James, which I'm going to copy. Since we do have SMB open, I like using 2 different tools, CrackMap Exec, and also you can use on SMB client, SMB map to list out the shares. But we can start by using CrackMap Exec to enumerate some users. But I'm going to start by checking for listing out the shares within this. Checking out the shares within this user. So this for 10, this 10, 10, 11, 10, 10, 11, 70. We'll do minus U for that user. We'll do minus P for the password. Press turn on that. And this will list out the shares for us. So we have an admin. We don't know if we have read or write. I'm pretty sure we don't have any for admin or C. We have IPC maybe for dev. We can try for dev. If not, we can use SMB map to view the share or to view if it's read or write for us. We go to dev and we do get access denied for the listing. To CrackMap Exec, we'll do it for SMB for 10, 10, 11, 70. We'll do minus U for the user, minus P. Already have the password copied. And I believe the user was Levi James. We'll make sure that we can authenticate for SMB. And then we can start by listing out the shares for Levi James. So we have the domain controller, or the domain controller DC, and also the domain for puppy.htb. And we do successful username and password. I'm going to do minus shares. This will list all the shares for Levi.James. And now we do get the permissions. So for dev, we have no permissions. We can have IPC. These are default shares that we have, and read and read for this. I'm also going to do an RD brute. This will just to gather some information for some targets for brute forcing. RD brute will allow us to do brute forcing and also list out all the different users on each individual for like on the domain. So you see that we have SID type user, which we can just grep out. And we shouldn't have too many users on the box. While that is doing that, I'm going to be using Bloodhound. I like using Bloodhound Python since we do have valid credentials on the box. So do Bloodhound Python. This is 5 minus U for the user. Was it Levi? Was it Levi.James, I believe? Levi.James. So this 5 minus P for the password. Copy the password. So this 5 minus D for the domain. I want to put this into my /etc host. So I'll be /etc host for 1010 1170. So let's find this for Fluffy. I believe it was for, what was the domain controller? For puppy.htb. Puppy.htb, and this is fine. I'm just going to do tab for the domain controller for, it was domain controller for dc.puppy. dc.puppy.htb. And now we do have, puppy.htb and also dc.puppy.htb. So we'll do this for puppy.htb. This is 5 minus, we can specify minus B minus D. I like going down the list. We have the name server for 10, 10, 11, 70. And we don't need domain controller. We can specify minus C for all. I'm going to output for like all groups, GPOs, any of that. Do my zip. Press it on that. Specify name server. Press it on that. And this will get the with valid credentials. We can get a .zip file for Bloodhound. We'll do Control-Shift-O. I want to go into my Bloodhound directory for starting a Bloodhound. I'm going to do a Docker compose for up. And we can let a Bloodhound load, right? I'll go to my localhost for, I believe it's 8080 for Bloodhound 127. 127.0.0.1 on port 8080. So we do get a, just to make sure that we have the process good for this .zip. I do want to, we do have a clock screwed to great, so we can do 10, 10, 11, 10, 10, 11, 70. This will match what is on the domain controller for the IP for the clock. So now if we do run this one more time, we shouldn't get a clock screwed to great. And this should output successfully on the box. I'm gonna remove this. And that should be running. So we do have a couple of users here. I'm just gonna put this into a, I'm gonna be into users.txt. We have a couple of users here that I do want to copy. So we have administrator, guest. These are default. We have Levi.James, Ant Edwards, Adam Silver, Jamie Williams for these users, Steph.Cooper, and also a Steph.Cooper ADM as user. So right now I don't want to put administrator. Actually, we should just put administrator in case we want to brute force for any administrator accounts, just to have that documented. But that seems about all the valid users on the box. So cat users.txt, and now we do have that users.txt. So I'm gonna open up Bloodhound now for port 8080. I do have my username and password saved already. Looking back, you'll see that now we don't have a clock screw to great, I think is called, when the server is not matching the domain controller for the time. So we just match with the time for the domain controller. So let's go to administration. Let's go to, we'll delete all this. Go to file ingest, go to file, upload file, HackTheBox. We have this for puppy. We have that .zip file, upload, and this was canceled. So I'm gonna upload this one more time. Make sure this is completed. Hopefully we can get this completed for the status. So the user that we're going to be looking for is going to be for Levi.James. I want to look for any permissions that we do have for this user, or if that is associated with any groups. It's taking a while to ingest. Okay, so this is now completed. We'll go into Explorer. We did have this for Levi, or Levi.James. Right now I want to look for any outbound objects on this user that allows us to privilege escalate. Let's go back into outbound objects let's go into Levi one more time. Levi.James. I like looking into the clear path for this. So you go. Here, let's go to it's a little laggy here. So go Levi.James. Outbound objects. There you go. So do you have an outbound object? Go to Levi is a member of HR. HR, anyone in this group, allows us to do a generic write, and we can add ourselves to from since we're under HR. Anyone in this HR group has generic write for developers. We can successfully add a group member to the developers group. So start by doing that. So for post exploitation, I like using bloody AD. So we can do bloody AD. So we do bloody AD. What you can do minus help. I always like going into I believe we do have a, let's see, we can specify minus host for the IP address for 10.10.11.70. We'll specify minus D for the domain controller. Also, I usually like also specifying the host always first and then specifying the domain controller and all the options first. So like sometimes username and password as well. It just depends on different types of tooling, but we'll specify a domain controller for dc.fluffy.htb. Specify the domain controller. This is -u for the password or for the user for Levi.James. Specify -p for that password. And then we want to add a group member. So we can add a group member, which is going to be from, as we do know, it's going to be from Levi James to the developers group. Add a group member to developers. And then Levi.James. Press on that. Now Levi James is added to the developers. We can do a bloodhound again as well and see if we can to check the new permissions. Even if we go to developers, go to members. We see that developers is a member of Ants Edwards, Adam Silver, and also Jamie Williams. So let's go back into SMB client. I'm going to start by checking for that dev. I believe let's go into, we have SMB client for dev. Let me see a minus shares first. Let's check the minus shares one more time. And you'll see now we have for dev, we have a read for dev. So I'm gonna start by using SMB client one more time. We'll do sys5 for 10.11.70. When I'll go into this dev share for -u for that user. Levi James specify -p for that password. And now we have access to this dev share. So do you have an MSI? We have a projects directory. Let's go into this project directory. We do dir. Nothing under here. Do ls. And let's get this recovery KDBX file. I'm gonna run a file command against this recovery. See what this is. So this is simply just a KDBX file which stores username and passwords for this password. Just stores username and passwords. So I'm gonna use a, I believe we have a John. I think it's a KD. Let's see, KD. I'm gonna search up the file. I forgot the name of this tool. I think it goes to John or something like that. There's a key pass to John. There you go. This should be my folder. So we'll do key pass to John. Specify the file, which we do have for recovery. And this will put this into like hash.txt. It doesn't seem like this is supported. So I'm going to check for a KDBX for 4000. Let's go. This is supported not by the file version 4000, not currently supported. Search for like export for like a GitHub. So here we have a key pass for brute. This is KD HackTheBX 4.0 format, which we are needed. So I'm going to go into, I'm going to copy this repository here. Let's see if this works for us. We'll git clone repository. Seeding to key pass. We'll do this is sh key pass. Let's look at the file arguments for this. So you'll see that this format is not supported by KeyPass to John, which we just tried. And we can specify the file, followed by the word list. So this is for recovery. Let's specify this for user share, wordless rockyou.txt. We have, doesn't seem to work. KeyPass CLI is not installed. Let's research this real quick, what this is. I guess we can install using a KeyPass XC. Let's install this real quick. We'll look into these other repositories. I mean, that's all we need really. I guess we're going to need to do this for let's try a yeah, I'm going to run this so you can fix this, and then we can once this is installed, then we can install it one more time. So I'm going to do tab. We'll just restart these services. I believe now we can install it. KeyPass XC. And I believe KeyPass XC on Linux is basically a GUI for this. We don't have any images here, but I believe this is going to be a GUI for this script. Let's go into this database. All right. Okay, so this seems to be done installing. Let's run this one more time for KeyPass for root.sh. And now we have everything installed, and this is brute forcing for that recovery KDBX file. And after a while, we have a password for this KDBX file. However, this is password protected, so this is only the password for the file itself. I'm gonna open this in KeyPass XC. You'll see if we can open the database. I believe we can specify an argument for this recovery. This will tell us to specify the password, which we have the password now for. It's going to be for Liverpool. Unlock. And we have some titles, usernames, URL, and the date modified for each individual user. See the password for all these. Can we select all these? Let's go to weak passwords. Okay, so I'm going to put this into, let's put this into a passwords.txt. I want to start by copying each single password that we do have. So we'll go into this user. We'll copy this user. We'll go to Anthony C. Edwards for Ant-Man 2025. Jamie Love 2025. Samuel. And lastly, you have Steve Tucker. So I'm pretty sure these are all the passwords for each individual user. I'm not sure if this is associated with each individual user, but we can brute force using crackmap.exec. So now we have passwords and also users.txt. Let me X out of this. We can specify crackmap.exec. We'll specify SMB for 1010. I hope there's not any account lockout, which I'm pretty sure there's an account lockout, but if there is, we can definitely use LDAP to brute force for this, but I would do 10.10.1170. We'll specify -u for user.txt. Let's go back. Crackmap.exec for SMB for 10.10.1170. We'll do -u for user.txt and then -p for passwords.txt. And this will brute force for each individual user. And we have a successful username and password for the user. It's going to be for SMB for Edwards Ant-Man 2025. So I'm going to check for the shares for this user. So I'm just going to do a -u for, so we have Ant-Man.Edwards. Specify the -p for the password. So it seems to work. We'll do minus shares. And it seems like we have read and write for dev. So I'm gonna use Bloodhound one more time. We can let's clear this out one more time. We want a new database. Close out we'll delete the environment data. Close this out. While that is deleting, we'll use Bloodhound. So we'll do ant.edwards and then we'll specify his password for Ant-Man 2025. This will output this to a .zip file and then allow us to enumerate Bloodhound with this specified user. Okay, so now we do have that new file. This was outputted to 221, so it's this one. Go to upload. We can wait for this to ingest. Let's see what we get. So I'm gonna go back to Explore. We want to go into the user, which now we instead of we don't have Levi James, but now we have this for Edwards. So go to Ant.Edwards. We'll check his outbound permissions here. Which outbound object control. He has something for going from member of senior devs going into generic all. We go to like general, the members group of senior devs has generic all permissions over the user Adam Silver for this. So I'm going to start by setting a password for this. So I believe we do have bloody AD already. Where did I run my bloody AD? I think it was under bloody AD. We'll take off the -u. I'm going to put this for ants dot, I believe it was ant dot Edwards. Specify the -p for the password for Ant-Man 2025. And then we can add a password. So we're going to add a password for Adam.silver. Specify the password which we had for, or we can actually just set the password, right? So I'm just going to set this to create a password here. We'll copy the same password. We'll just do this. Make sure this is for Adam.silver. We'll just do Ant-Man 2025. We'll do 1. We'll just keep it the same as for Edwards, right? Press enter on that. We can the set password. We can set password for him. So we go into Adam.silver. We have this enabled for false, which changes to LDAP. We'll do Control L. We'll have 2025. This was the user for Adam.silver. This is via his password, which we did have for one Ant-Man. So I want to start by doing a minus query. Minus query will allow us to successfully run a query against LDAP to enumerate and also change. So I want to confirm this. I want to start by checking for this will be account for the SAM account name. So anything within this will allow us to enumerate the share through LDAP. So we'll do account name. And it's going to be equal just to the same user. So we do have admin, or for Adam.silver. Press it on that. I believe this is we don't have a minus query for this. I guess we don't have a minus query. I know there's a crack map exec. I think it's for NXC maybe. For NXC, maybe for LDAP. Yeah, so we have a status, there we go. So you see this status account disabled. So, yeah, I believe NXC is for, or this minus query is for NXC, but you see that status account is disabled, which does match within Bloodhound, which is false, which is equal to account disabled. So press enter on that. It's expected 2 arguments, so that's why I put the double quotes there. But I'm not sure why it's not running through. Not sure why it's not running through, allowing us to view this. But so since this is not working, we can start by using LDAP. We'll specify end of file. So we can specify the change type for modify. You can use you can look through like documentation for this to view. Or you can just copy from what was from LDAP previously, which allows us to enumerate, but with the user account control 466048. So we'll specify the password for Edwards. So we'll copy that, press enter on that. So now you see that we modified for the DN, the name for Adam.silver. Change type for modify, replace the user control to 66048. 66048 will allow us to enable it. And so the password for Edwards. And since we're a member of senior devs, and we did run, we go back, we did set the password for this. So we have his password now, so we can use evilwinrm. However, we're able to modify since we're over control for senior devs over Adam.silver. So now we can use evilwinrm. So I'll use evilwinrm -i for 1010 11 1010 1170. We'll do minus u for the user for, it's going to be for Adam.silver. Adam.silver, we'll do -p for his password, which was updated. Specify his password. We do who am I. And now I'm under Adam.silver. So I'm gonna start by doing some enumeration. I'm gonna go under dir, go back, do dir mode. We are under, we can see his desktop. I believe we have the user.txt under here. We do dir, and we have our user.txt. Let's go back, go into dir, public. We have at Adam.silver administrators, Steph.coop. We do have a backup, so I'm going to check for backups. Go into dir. And since we are under evil1rm, we are able to use a get command for getting that file. Our ability is download actually. Download file will, or download command will allow us to download for the specified file onto our local machine. I'm gonna download this and see what this is, what this .zip file is, if it's protected or not. We can extract any files under here. So it's taking a while to download, but once we do download it, we should be able to view the contents. So now we have a download successful. I'm gonna exit out of this. And we have that site backup. So I'm gonna make a directory for, I'll make a directory for backup. So I can put that directory for that zip file in there. So we'll copy this into backup. CD into backup. And we can unzip this file. Doesn't seem like there's a password on the file. Go into puppy with index.html. We do have an nms auth config.back. Let's go into assets, do some more enumeration. Nothing under here. Images, just images, and all we do have is this MSF backup. So I'm gonna cat this out. And simply this is just a file here. So you have this port for port 389. This is the user for Steph.Cooper. Do we have this user under our users.txt? We have Steph.Cooper, which we do have. Steph.Cooper and also Chef Steph 2025. We'll put this into our passwords.txt. We'll run this, we'll run another crack map exec for the user. And the group name, LDAP, nothing here for object class, and nothing under for, under here. So we just do have one password for Steph.Cooper, which we can run crack map exec against that, right? So crack map exec, we'll just do this for SMB. We can also use LDAP, but there's no account lockout, so I like using SMB. We'll specify a password for passwords.txt and also -u for a users.txt. We'll take off this mice query here. Press it on that. We'll specify a mice continue on dash success. Press it on that. So so even if it does find the previous passwords, we can keep brute forcing for the other users. So we have the previous one for Edwards or Edwards, and also for the other user for Steph.Cooper. So I'm going to put this in here, just to confirm that we do have that password valid on the machine. We have SMB. So we found SMB for Edwards, Ant-Man 2025. Also same thing for Steph.Cooper. I'm going to change this to a, doesn't seem like we have anything else. Let's specify -u for Steph.Cooper. For the user Steph.Cooper, I'm going to check if we can use evil1rm with this. We can just simply do this one crack map exec instead of writing the whole command. evil, or I believe it was a WinRM. Start on that. And it does allow us to use evil WinRM, right? So evil WinRM, we'll do minus I for 10, 10, 11, 70. We'll justify minus U for Steph.Cooper. Steph.Cooper. And then minus P for that password for Chef 2025. Press enter on that. We do who am I. Cover our terminals, we do who am I. And now we're just Steph.Cooper. So I'm going to start by doing some enumeration. I'm going to go under program data. Let's go into, I'm going to search up for WinPiece, start doing some enumeration. We can do who am I / priv as well. We don't have anything for privilege escalation for privileges. I'm going to get this WinPiece.exe. We'll, let's see. Actually, we can just go to like the official WinPiece. There's like releases here for WinPiece. I would suppose it's I guess WinPiece 64. So Control L, since we don't have Coral, I'm just gonna do a program. We'll seed into program data. I believe I ran this under puppy, right? So we just have that under puppy. We'll go back. I'm just gonna get this WinPiece x64 exe. Cd into program data. We're gonna upload this. The name of the file which we had was WinPiece. We're gonna upload WinPiece. I don't think there's WinPiece x64 exe, which should upload. So the upload is successful. So I'm going to do a dir command. We can start by getting our WinPiece. I'm just going to simply run this. This can take some time, so I'm just going to cut the video. Once it is done, we can review through all the information. So WinPiece is now done downloading. I'm going to go all the way back up. Here, we don't have anything, just TCP, UDP connections here. You have internet connectivity. Really nothing here to look into. We have RDP. We do have some DP API master keys as well. We have a master key, and this was last accessed 325. Also have some credential files as well. We have two of them actually, cred file. So we can copy these files. That's going to be for the master key. So I'm going to put this into master underscore. I'll just put this into like a paths.txt. We have paths for, we'll check for paths. This was going to be for the master key. And then we'll also have the, we have these two. Put this under here, as well as for the secondary one. For this B9, these are different for B9. Just make sure this is correct. B9. And it's going to be for master key and the credit file. And we have that. So I'm going to quit out this. I'm going to cat out the paths. Let's go back to the Windows box. So I'm going to start by copying. So I'll do Control L. We'll go into I'm going to copy this file. I'm just going to name this for key. So we'll copy, put this for key. If I do dir, I believe there's going to be a, actually let's go into program data actually. Let's go into program data, we'll go dir. Let's try to copy this directory one more time for this file. We'll go to copy, put this in here. Control L, we do dir. You'll see that we don't see that anything, but we do a force. So we can list all the hidden files. Let's Let's copy that one more time, but we'll put this into a key. We do dir. We do dir minus force. We should have a key now. So next I'm going to do a GCI dash force. We'll do a GCI force. We'll do control. We'll do this for dir. This should GCA dot force. We should see the key now, which is key. Now we're going to do a trib. We'll do minus H. We'll do minus H for the key. Now if we do dir without force, we should see the file for key. So now before, usually since the file is hidden, Evil WinRM can't get the file or it can't download the file. But now if we do download key, if we did everything right, we should download this file to our main directory for puppy. And you'll see that we have that 740 bytes for key. So always make sure, you know, to get the trib minus H minus S for the key. Basically, that's all you need to really undiscover files for Evil WinRM to allow us to download files from the Windows machine to our local machine. So I'm gonna go back over here. We'll get the first cred file, so we can we'll copy. We'll do this for cred 1, and we'll do the same thing for this for cred 2. Cred, make sure these are not the same for 5D and also B9. So make sure these are different. We do dir. We don't see them under here. We can go back for a trib for cred 1. Same thing for cred 2. Control, dir mode. Now we have those two files. I can download this cred 1. As well, I'll download for cred 2. So X out of the shell now. Go to exit. Control Y. Now I'll just put everything into a paths directory. So I'll copy cred 1. Copy everything for cred into paths. And as well as, I believe it was copy, we can copy that key into paths as well. Seeding to paths. And now we have cred 1, cred 2, and also that key. So now we do have the cred 1, cred 2, and also the key path. That depopy. This is minus help. It was master key, just to make sure. For key, which I did have. Key, and then we'll do minus SID for the SID. And we'll do minus password. I believe it just should be minus password for this, and we can specify the password. The password that we had for this user is going to be for Steph.Cooper. We have Liverpool Steph.Cooper for Chef 2025. Press enter on that. And it is decrypted. We have the decrypted key. So we have this, you'll see this is master key file, decrypted key with user key. And this should be the whole decrypted key, which we can put in our text editor just to keep track of everything. So next we're gonna do the same thing. Now we're gonna specify for credential file. Let's go into, I think we have credentials under here, credential. Yeah, we can specify credential. I think we can do minus help for credential. Because there's options within the credential, so do minus help. And it is requiring that, so do minus file for the credential file. I think it's we can specify the key and specify minus key for what we have here. Person on that. We need to do the cred 1, yeah. So we do cred 1. And then we have the key. Let's do this for cred 2. And we have the password now. So it wasn't for the key, but specify the credential for the key that we obtained from the other dpoppy. But we have Steph.Cooper ADM, and also for this user, so I'm gonna use crack map exec. We'll specify a SMB for 10.10.11. 70 for -u. We have the user. Specify -p for the password. And we have the user as Steph.Cooper_ADM. We have SMB, and we'll do this for the same thing for WinRM. And this does seem to work for WinRM. However, I'm going to start by using Bloodhound. So I'll do this again for Bloodhound. In this case, we'll do this again for Steph.Cooper_AMD for his password. Let's go back, do -d. Hopefully we don't get a clock skew for this. Let's go back to Bloodhound here. We'll go into downloads. I like deleting everything before going into a new Bloodhound. So go delete. I'm going to delete this environment data. This was for Bloodhound 114. So go to upload file, go to 114, download. So this is ingesting, and now we want to check for the last user, which we did have for Steph.Cooper ADM, which should be the last user for, seems to be canceled, for getting admin 114, close. So this is now complete. We'll go to explore. Remember, we do have the user, which is going to be for Steph.Cooper_ADM. Go to outbound object control. And we have everything for outbound. Simply, this is going to be a Steph.Cooper, and we'll check this for to administrator. This is a member of, and since we're a member of administrators for domain, we can just do a, I believe it's going to be a desync, right? Let's do this against the domain controller for puppy.htb for the domain controller. So we have owns, write owner. So we write DCL. I believe this is a desync attack for the permission. So we can use inpacket for this. I'm going to locate inpacket. I believe it was, I think it was dumps or secrets dump. I know I have the, how do you say the inpacket, like using inpacket for secrets dump. However, I don't know. I just find it the syntax is pretty little weird. So I'm just going to the direct path for secrets dump.py. For me, I just find it easier for this, and I can just look at the target, what is needed for the domain username and everything. So I'm started by specifying the domain name. So I'll do puppy.htb. And remember, this was the user for Steph.Cooper_ADM. So we do, or we can, let's go back into, what was the Steph.Cooper_ADM. So Steph.Cooper_ADM, specify the password. We have his password for this. And we can specify at 10.10.11.75 or 10.10.11.70, Control L. Now this will dump all the hashes for sysadmin or for administrator, which we can just simply pass the hash, put the hash into evil 1RM. We can also test this with crack map exec, and this will allow us to get a shell through 1RM. Yeah, so here doesn't show, for me, it shows, I believe on the updated versions for like the updated versions for Evil WinRM or for Bloodhound, there is a desync. I just have for me right D or right DACL for desync, but it should be the same thing for just dumping hashes. I guess mine just shows right DACL, but it also does show desync within the Windows abuse. So here we just have administrators is the only thing that we really need. We can let that dump hashes, but we don't really need anything else for. We don't need anything else for to check to get a hash or to get a shell, right? So we have administrator. We'll do -h for the hash. We do -h. We don't have. Do we have? We have administrator, right? 9C33D. Let's do SMB. Do we need to specify the whole? We can just cancel this. We don't need everything, but we have administrators here. So I'm just gonna put this to my text editor for administrator, and I'm guessing we need the whole thing for this to work. Not sure why this is not working. Let's just try this. We'll do Evil WinRM -I for 10, 10, 11, 70. Do we have the right IP address as well under here? We did have the right 10, 10, 11, 70 administrator. Yeah, we do have the same thing. I'm not too sure why it's not working. We'll do administrator. Administrator, we'll do -h for the hash. Press on that. Not too sure why this hash is not working. Let's try to dump. Let's try to dump this one more time. I don't know why. We do have desync on for administrators. Maybe this will give us a different hash for. And this is dumping domain credentials. So this is for like administrator. We have BB. Then we have a Kerberos keys grabbed as well. So I get these are different from. So we can try BB. So we have I guess this for the local administrator, and then we have this for the domain administrator. So this is why we're able to get the. They say, let's go back up. We're able to get the administrator for BB, 75B, which does work. So now we can use Evil WinRM. I'm going to copy that same hash, press it on that. We do who am I. We do Control L. We do who am I. We'll see that I'm under administrator. We'll go back. Let's go into our desktop. Dir mode. And we can type our root.txt. Well guys, pretty much in the video. Don't like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.